I'm Andrew. Down here at Occupy LA, talking to some of the residents, finding out what brought them here, why they here, what their hope to achieve. Just get a feeling of what it's like to be down here with this incredibly diverse crowd in one of the few cities in America where this movement is being supported by the mayor and the city council. It's a wonderful feeling down here, and I hope we can capture some of it for you.
And I've been an activist for a long time, and this was a cause that really appealed to me, as well as it should appeal to 99% of the population.
And personally, what are you hoping to achieve? Do you have an ultimate goal?
I wouldn't use the word hoping, because I'm 100% certain we will achieve it. However, our main points at this point really is we want to educate, because once people know what's going on, there will not be one person who will stand for the injustice going on. But more importantly, the things we do hope is to be able to get money out of politics, media, and so on, and to pretty much, have the back of all those who've, been wronged for so long, and show them, yes, you can make a difference.
And how do you think that will be accomplished through this movement?
As I definitely think that will be accomplished through the educating of people, highlighting what's going on, how it can be fixed, and that there is a way to fix it. So that's how we want to go about it.
How long have you been down here?
I've been here since day one.
And you plan to stay until?
I plan to stay for as long as I have to, in order to, you have to be dedicated to something.
And since you've been here since day one, and the movement is really starting to pick up now and getting national publicity and everything, have you felt a difference here in LA?
Absolutely. You know what? I've definitely felt a difference in the whole movement as a whole, and the fact that it's brought, so much light into obscure issues that most, your average citizen doesn't know of. However, we still have a lot of work to do, because it's incredible the amount of people who don't know what's going on here.
And is there communication between you and New York and Washington and the other cities?
Absolutely. We are close with New York and a few other cities. And we're learning from their mistakes. They're helping us out. And in turn, we are actually developing the prototype for media in order to send it to other cities that wish to, start an Occupy. So that way, instead of, wasting about a week or two getting themselves together, they waste maybe a couple of days to go through the checklist and waste a couple of days.
Just how have you organized it? How has it come into being to be this sophisticated?
Essentially, I would say 9 out of 10 of us have just met. And when you are thrown into a highly stressful situation where you don't know people, it can be tense. However, it's really coming together as with anything else in life. You have your people who will maintain and they will stick it out. And then you have the people who realize that it's just not for them. And as we go along, because we are leaderless, and I like to say we're leaderful, everybody's taking charge of what their talents are and making sure that they use their talent in order to help with the media, So that's kind of how we've been organizing, and essentially we are hoping to bring out the best in everybody, because we have an amazing and wonderful group of really intelligent people, and we want to make sure all those people would utilize their talents.
Great. How long have you been here, and what brought you down to Occupy LA?
We just came today just to take a look at things, see what kind of people are here, what they're about. And I've been hearing a lot of division as far as people from the so-called right and the left claiming the movement as their own and deriding each other for it. And I think it's counterproductive when they all have the same enemy. So just trying to get that message out a little bit,
Same thing pretty much he said. I just want to see what's going on, and it's time that we do something and take back the country that is ours and represent ourselves as people and intellectual beings, and not just like a fringe fanatical movement, So
yeah, definitely I agree with them. I want to see this thing keep growing, keep getting bigger, so I'm here in support.
Now, what brought you personally here? I know it sounds like you've been demonstrating and being in an activist movement for a long time, but what brought you to this particular movement? What do you find enhancing about this, or why you want to embrace this movement?
Well, my aunt was a movie star, Ina Balin, who had the distinct honor and courage to march with Martin Luther King. So it is true that I have been inspired by activists my whole life, but I think that I made the choice as an adult to really represent the best that I could, because we couldn't allow this to go on any longer. And as a filmmaker, I started to turn to documentary filmmaking, even though I'm known for being a narrative filmmaker, because Obama and Michelle Obama said we should dedicate 3 months to service. That was in 2008, and I forgot to stop. So I came here to aggregate the content, and I've been here since day one, participating on some level, but I moved into City Hall 3 days ago, and that's why the First Aid Committee is giving us all, our team, all kinds of things like toothbrushes, and these are from the donations from all of you. So what we're asking for is also, if you have the ability to make water, like smart water, and if you have solar powered things, that's what we're looking to do. We want to, right now we're just trying to feed the people, keep the people from being too stinky, so that we can be a proper representation of what the new democracy is going to look like and smell like. But as we get further into this, we want to be sure that this grows, and we're having yoga workshops in the mornings, there's meditations, there's people dialoguing that were never dialoguing before. And today at sunset, the Indigenous Committee is having a special sunset ceremony, because today is October 10th, which isn't just my beautiful parents' 40th wedding anniversary, but it's Columbus Day. And as a proud Italian American, it's time that we set the record straight that Christopher Columbus did not discover America. And also we have an opportunity here to make this holiday into a real holiday that we can all celebrate, that's based on something real. But we're not quite there yet. That's one of the things, this movement is in solidarity with Occupy Wall Street, but what's beautiful is that it's the first opportunity for people that are really angry and disenfranchised to be able to express their grievances in a public forum. So we encourage everyone to get engaged and get involved, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
I'm here to represent homeowners that have been victimized by the banks. Mainly people that are about to lose their homes, or have lost their homes, or are trying to get modifications, and they're getting the runaround by so many different agencies and so many different so-called foreclosure rescue scammers.
And do you work for an organization, or how are you participating in this, and how do you hope to make your voice heard to solve those problems?
Yes, we are a group of homeowners that have formed a group organization. The name is no2housingcrime.org. We provide resources for homeowners to educate them, to let them know exactly how to fight back and reclaim their American dream. Now I'm here because I want to let the people know that there is hope. Wall Street committed the biggest crime of the century, and nothing has happened to them, and homeowners need to arm themselves with knowledge and be able to fight back so that they can reclaim their dream.
Now, are you part of the movement, or you just come here daily?
No, I'm part of the movement. As a matter of fact, today I'm going to be having a meeting, and we're putting some proposals on the table for them, because we're putting certain demands, you know what I mean? And we want these demands to be heard, because we're tired of getting the runaround by politicians and by attorney generals that do a lot of lip service, and there is no action.
So you're down here with that. Are you down here for other causes as well? I mean, do you believe in what the movement's about in terms of the larger scope of this movement?
Yes. Well, if you stop and think about it, we have our children that are graduating with degrees from college, and there is no jobs. I mean, this is ludicrous the way the whole thing is going. You know what I mean? My kids are worried because they graduating from college and they have no future. There is no jobs. The schools are underfunded. The medical and other areas. Health. The people have no health insurance. All these are issues that the 99% are worried about.
And what brings you down here?
Well, I was just talking to this gentleman here and saying I've been doing this all my life, and I love this. It reminds me of the 60s.
Does it? Where were you in the 60s?
I was in Boston doing this sort of thing, and I spent a lot of time going down to Washington as well.
I mean, you're not down here as just a visitor. You must have feelings about what's going on down here.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the biggest issue for me is the fact that corporations can buy congressmen, and that is what's ruining this country. There are lots of other issues that I feel strongly about, but that's sort of the basic one at the moment.
So that Citizens United movement is really that, and corporations are people. If they're people, how come they're not arrested for everything that they do?
Exactly. That's a very
That's been my question.
Yeah. Also, I'm a teacher, and I feel very strongly about the need for a better education system in this country. We really fail in that regard, many, many ways.
And pretty much here to get our education back from the government.
What do you mean by get your education back from the government?
Well, I'm an art student, and currently legislation kind of believes that art is more of a hobby than a career, and I don't agree with that at all, because it's my thing, and if I don't have art, then I wouldn't have another career. And you know, we need people to teach in our museums and to better educate people. I mean, art is completely a weapon, you know, and we can get people, you know, to understand other things and maybe in a different way. I mean, even these posters, like, people come by and they see more from the drawing than they would from reading it, because people, you know, they're not always willing to read everything. So, I mean, art's easy, simple glance and take what you want out of it, so.
Seems to me, what brings you down here?
Pretty much what pushed me towards here was watching the police brutality happen in New York. That was very strong and shocking to me, and more so that I've been waiting for something like this to happen, and when I saw that it was happening in New York, we were ready to go, like, run down there. I mean, my family got our house foreclosed on, and they pretty much sold the house before we even moved out. They had a big sign, like as big as our garage, that said we didn't make our payments and our house was foreclosed on. And it's happening to my aunt and uncle in Las Vegas, and it's happening to my grandma and grandpa not too far away. So pretty much every house. We don't have anything to our names much, and then we had to file for bankruptcy as soon as that happened, just so we could have somewhere to live right after. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I try not to, like, feel bad for us or anything, but it's just something that's discouraging. And I saw my parents, what they had to go through, because they're the working ones, and they're the ones that I saw their eyes grow tired every day of trying to fight that and trying to keep, like, our family together. And I just came here so I can meet people that are going through the same thing, and maybe they're feeling just like my parents, and, you know, just keep them going, and, like, life goes on, you know, even though you feel so robbed and you feel really disheartened, and because it creates tension in your family, and that's what's going on in America. Depression, it's rampant. It's very, very rampant, but you need to keep your spirit up. You need to keep your family together as much as you can, and being here and, like, helping people that are going through the same thing. And I'm hearing about a lot of house sit-ins, which are awesome, you know.
You mean people sitting in foreclosed houses?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
It's going on. I think we're going to start doing it more often. There are people coming by letting us know what's going to happen to them very soon. So I'm here and to help with everything else that's going on, especially with our poverty. I mean, I'm not living on the street, but walking by them and, you know, only having some change to give them really never ever feels like enough. And same thing with the depression, you know, we want human life to be life. We can't just be these little walking zombies forever.